Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Also live on TikTok. And my friends, I need to sit down. We're going to be doing something I've been meaning to do for a while today, which is to create a copper golem storage system. This is part of the new Snapshot and the full drop. And I want to design a system, so I thought I'd copy my Season 11 world over here. And I do know what I'm doing. And hopefully this will... What's this one? Hopefully this will be okay. Not sure what the experimental thing is. Kits of Fur, welcome to the stream. Burt Potato, welcome my friend. Oh, got the new dyes down here. Yeah, this layout right here is going to help me think about what we want to do a little bit. You see, the copper golem isn't as powerful as what we need for a system like this, but I kind of want to think about everything the Season 11 system offers us. By the way, where is the music? I forgot to hit play on the music. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Have I thought about shelves in the new sorting system? How would shelves play into it? I guess stuff that you would just want in your system. That's a good point. There's a new storage block that could possibly work with something like this. Huh. I don't want to redesign this thing again. But yeah, with shelves, I guess you can look at it like, what things do I need on my hotbar always stocked up? Like fireworks, ender pearls, and whatnot. So if you had like a group of 3 items over here and you stock them up through some hoppers, and then you can walk past it and it's always stocked up and you just grab. Right, because you swap the same items in and then refill it. That could be actually a pretty cool little system. You think that shelves should be made into function like filters do in the creator mod. I don't know what that is, but the thing with adding filters into this game is that they already exist through redstone. And so if you replace redstone functionality with like specific blocks, you end up degrading the redstone, right? Like there's less to do with it. Yo, Karen Cake, thank you ever so much for 15 months. Loved the episode yesterday. I had a lot of fun making it. It was a long episode. I had even more stuff to put in that one, but I ended up cutting it. But it was cool. So I've got several ideas in my mind. Okay. One of them is to perhaps just focus on having a simple system for early game using the copper chest. And I got a bit of an idea on how to lay it out. So there's that in mind, like a simple approach. So this will just be rows of chests. The chests become the filters, and the copper golems do their work on the chests. That should be relatively straightforward to assemble. Now, the next tricky thing is that I don't think I want an intermediate system. I want to think about having a system like this. And as you can see, it's really big. So I want to use some sort of like subdividing system where copper golems will sort a lot of items into 4 chests, let's say. And those 4 chests via hoppers will lead to more chests. So this goes all the way off to a different location through the hopper chain. And then there's another copper golem, and now there's like other chests. And it might do that like several times, right? Is what I was thinking. It might just be once it does it. These 4 might lead into another thought. And as you can imagine, that could end up getting pretty crazy. But the reason we want to do that is because look at how many categories we've got over here. Right? Like all of this plus like at least 1 for each color. Then all of these materials and your woods and your copper blocks, and then all of these materials, which actually appear over there as well. I think I'm going to have to rule out bulk storage. Like, I don't want to mess around mixing in a bulk storage system with the copper golems. Then again, if you think about it, This could just be like one module off to the side. This could be like a copper golem. Like, I'm starting to look at this room actually. Like, hang on. If all the copper golems are like up there, we'll have a place to dump the items, and they get sent to where the golems are. Like, they could spread the items out so that they go here. It's kind of like this is a final destination though. So if you wanted bulk storage, then you kind of need. Oh, do you know what? This system works so that it fills up these ones first. Okay, that would actually work with bulk storage. So you send items to bulk storage. Those items won't appear anywhere else. And then what appears in each of these chests needs to be filtered from above. And you can only use a double chest's worth of filters. Interesting. I think it's going to be really tricky to make the more advanced design. Let's go outside. We'll keep that thing in the background. We'll pop down here. Actually, it's a good idea to start building up in the sky, isn't it? Beanie Bees says, so many extremes recently. We're so lucky. I feel like I've been streaming pretty much my usual pace, with exception to back-to-back days from yesterday and before. So anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. You think Twitch got rid of your follow because you stopped being able to watch for a while. I don't think Twitch like unfollows people for you. I don't know. Seems unlikely to me. So here's the thing. If we can get, I'm not sure which way I want to do this, right? But if we can get a copper golem sort of stood above and below chests, that's assuming it can put them into the chests up here. That's something else I've got to check. But Potato says, I've been able to accidentally unfollow by misclicking, but I've never had it unfollow without some sort of interaction. Yo, Poster Nerd, thank you for 41 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Here's kind of the idea. Like, you have your double chest, and then you keep the copper golem in this space. I mean, stone is not the right block because it blocks the chest. So then there's a question of, like, can the copper golem reach above and below? But in terms of storage layout from the front, like, these will be the final chests. So that doesn't quite work. But if the copper golem can reach... The copper golem can reach there. I mean, that kind of works, right? Now it can reach 3 different places. But like this is actually pointless because you don't want to walk from one side all the way around to the other, do you? So you would want all of your chests to be level, and therefore you need different floors for the golems. Now let's assume that they can only do 2 high, which is what I remember from the last time I checked this. So maybe you can make like a second floor at this level here. So you have your first floor and then your second floor, and you keep all of them inside doing their job. And then you can stack this as tall as you like, really. The only thing is, they're not going to share the copper chest. But I immediately can think of a way. Thought they were limited to 10 chests or so. You should make a smaller room for each of them. Every chest ASAP. Yeah, that was something I was going to factor in, the copper golem limit. So, yo, free piglets in a coat. Thank you for 26 months, my dude, with the Prime. I always love reading that username out. Thank you, my dude. Welcome to the stream. A copper golem on Java seems to not open the chest above them. That, to me, sounds like it might be a bug, right? I mean, I would hope so. I wouldn't want to go build a whole system and find out it's a bug. Let's type in the word distance. No? Maybe just type in the number? How far does it go? Well, here's an article about item sorting. The Copper Golem can remember up to 10 chests it has previously visited. So maybe 10's a limit that way, but there was also a distance for it checking. 16 blocks away from the nearest copper chest. Alright, 10 kind of sounds like our number then. Since it remembers 10. Which, if we double up, means actually 5? Right? That's kind of concerning if it only remembers 10. Because might it run into issues once you get up to 5 double chests? The Copper Golem can reach 2 blocks above and 1 below its current location. It can also reach 1 block in each direction, horizontally and diagonally. That kind of sounds like you could layer up the chests like this. But again, we kind of want that front-facing system to be intact. Let's go ahead. Let's get actual Golem in here in order to start learning. Let's give you a very limited space to work with. I'm just going to get rid of these. You can sort some of those for me, please. Which one are you putting into? This one? Okay, now I'm going to take him out. We also want to see if you'll go there and here. Oh, wow. It looks down there. Nice. Okay. Look up, buddy. Look up. I hope it's not a bug that it can look down here. And I mean, it's looking at that chest, but it didn't go into it. Because I don't want to make an assumption here and get it wrong. You know what I mean? We might have to wait till the next snapshot to figure things out. So, I need to affect strength. Not that one. 0, 2, like that. No, actually not 0. Okay. Sorry! Has to be done. Cybot! 37 months! Just the perfect person to tune in. How well is the Golem pathfinding working? We've barely done anything to do with it yet. Just kind of investigating a little bit so far. JSTP3000 here for 25 months. Just got out of group yoga for the first time. Really calming. Hope you're also having a great day. Yeah, yoga is great for calming you down, for sure. I'm having a good one. Thank you, thank you. I went for a run. I did just over 40 minutes. That was also outside as well. I feel like running outdoors has a bit more of an impact on my body. So I'm slowly like building up to being able to run a 10K outside. And it's been a long, long time since I've been able to run on such a regular basis. I'm loving it. Alright, so here's the dealio. We're going to hope that they should be able to reach this one. If it gets fixed that they can, and they can also reach that one there, I don't think that's going to be a problem for the system we're going to create. Now, what we're going to do is have the Golem... Like, we put our items into this copper chest. The Golem lives up here. At this level. And it takes the items and it goes across. So it's going to look in all of these chests. Now, as for that whole thing about 10... We're going to have to do some tests today. I don't know quite how this is going to work, but we're going to work our way through it. And figure out what the distance will be. So anyway, let's pretend now that we get to the other side, right? And the other side is somewhere around here. We're going to have a chest that the player can't access, and that's going to remain empty. Now, that's kind of assuming the Golem is going to look at all of these chests before this one. Because that one will have a hopper on it. And go into another copper chest. And that will be the copper chest for this floor. How many times do we want to do that? I'm not entirely sure. This is already pretty tall, right? If it could do this. It's a lot of chests. The player reach distance is something to consider. So you would have a floor at the front. and then you would probably put yourself a little bit higher up. Peeps, I got a delivery coming today, and it just arrived, I think, so I'm going to go grab that. Remuko, thank you so much for 29 months. Very much appreciated. Bokx says Purplers did a video on it yesterday. Apparently the pathfinding's quite broken at the moment. He gave up on the storage system. That is unfortunate. I guess we'll find out ourselves in a moment. I'm going to go get this delivery sorted, and I'll be right back, people. Oh, do you know what I should do? No, that's the wrong plug. Leave my music on. You know, go check it out while I'm away. I'll be back in a second. Alright, ain't it the way? Right as you get started streaming, there it is. But I'm back. I'm back. What have you been up to? Purplers didn't know about the 10 chest roll. I'm not even sure we know about that. I mean, there's our 10 chests, right? And then one extra is the idea. Now, I'm going to need a stone stair. And at some point, I'd like to make this look a little bit prettier too. All right, let's get a golem. It's actually going to sort for us. And can I put several in here? Will they get in each other's way? When I say it's going to sort for us, what I've just realized is that I don't need to put stuff in the chests first. The chests are all empty, which will help with our initial kind of like sorting phase, right? So one item goes in each. If I come over here and actually just go, nope. Oh, what is throw item? Here we go. It's different on this client. And now a lot of items are coming into my inventory. And we're going to put them all in here. Do you know what? We only need 10, really. But then... Actually, it might be 15, because they can reach down below. At least they can here. Let's actually get rid of that for the time being. Yo! What's up, fellas? I think having multiple of them in the area is not good. That guy looks keen to work. Just saying. Is the copper chest at the wrong height? Let's try it down here. Yeah, it was at the wrong height. And some of these items get doubled up now. It's fine, not an issue. Right, now, can we have more of you? I think the answer's no, but maybe if we gave them more space to navigate here at the back, they might. Like, I'm not sure if I really want to test too many things at once here, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, you almost fell off. It could be that, like, a fence post wall might help here as well. Oh, don't go up there. Stay down there. I mean, they're working. They're slow. They're so slow. I have a feeling Mojang might need to rethink some... Oh, sorry, I took that off you. They might have to rethink some of this, because they are slow. Waddle says, will the Golem get confused as to which chest it can access with them stacked up on top of another, with only a trapdoor in between? I have no idea. We're just testing. I am getting this sense, though, of, like, we need to probably see or know more about the copper golem behavior to understand what it's doing. Like, you need some sort of mod, because, I don't know, so far, like, really slow. Maybe that's how it's going to be. Meow Mo says, what I love about your streams is how calm you are, even when things don't go the way they're meant to. Yeah, I think maybe in the past, a long time ago, I could get more frustrated easier. It's one of those things that comes with time and going through a lot. There's a quote I really like. This was like a big teaching moment for me. Was that expectations lead to disappointment, right? Very simple thing to understand. You have an expectation. If it isn't met, you'll be disappointed. I used that idea for so many things in my life. And then just kind of realized how much, especially with people, like expecting things of people without thinking about it, you know? And then you get disappointed when someone's like, well, actually, I wanted to do this other thing instead of that today. You know, and so I realized that if you have an expectation of something, you're more likely to get frustrated and upset and whatnot. So it's kind of like now a natural inbuilt reminder that things don't always go to plan and it's okay. So, you know, if stuff starts not working with these golems and it's like, oh, I was going to work on this today, but maybe it's not ready yet, that's okay. That's okay. So they are slowly putting in a few more items, but it is not looking good. Oh, how many went into this chest? Nothing. Okay, that's good. Are you going to put something in there now? Because I want them to look at these 10 first before that one. That's kind of the idea. Blue Guinea Pig has pointed out they can pick up 16 items at a time. The reason that we're only doing 1 or 2 is because we just need them to fill up the chests. Wait, wasn't there? Oh yeah, it's bugs. They can't put anything in the top chest. Interesting. So they're probably ignoring the top ones. And now all of those are full and nothing has gone... Oh, actually, things have gone into there. I forgot that there was a hopper around the back here. Okay, I think 2 here might be a bad idea because it looked like they were just pathfinding and not helping each other, which probably means you're going to end up with this. What are you doing, buddy? Like, just go to the copper chest and pick something out. Did I put a... This thing is still openable. Like, you should pick out something now. But you're not. Like, why... Wait, did it pick up something? Because it walked over to here. Look in the chest, man. What's the problem? Dude's just given up. Do some work. Right, go to the chest. Except you're not, you're just standing at it. What the heck? This might have something to do with them having trouble finding an item for a chest, and then, I don't know, something else is going on after that point. Wait, you just put some more... Okay, yeah, that's because there's more that can go in there, right. Kind of not what I wanted it to do right now. It's checking them one by one. And then it stops at here. You could have looked into that one, you didn't. You could have looked into this one, you didn't. Is it something to do with the blocks around them, I wonder? Maybe. Maybe that was it. Now check that one. No, don't go up there! Oh my god. The world will end if you go up there. This is not good, is it? Maybe the bottom chests confuse it. Okay, yeah, let's get rid of those. I mean, that if it does, it's not very hopeful for creating a decent storage system, is it? Like, we need them to be able to do something relatively simple here. This is kind of painful so far. This is first day, give him a break. Oh my god. And that's it. Now it's just like... Doesn't know what to do. There's an empty chest, but it won't acknowledge it. Mate, okay, so someone said about like there being other chests to confuse it. What if these ones are up here are actually... No! Son, please. Get back down. What if they are able to cause an issue? So now you're working with 5 and 1. And you're standing around not doing anything. You're fired. I'm getting fed up here. Right, so pick out an item. Right, that's not going to go anywhere. That's not going to go anywhere, I tell you. Right, number 5, sorry, and then here. And it stops! What's wrong with that one? That's freaking ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Why would it stop? Okay. Maybe it has something to do with, like, it stands here and it checked there. So, let's say... Oh! Maybe that was the problem. That looks like that might have been it. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this. Now, is it going to continue to do that, though? What are you doing, buddy? There's items in this chest, homie. Okay, right. That is infuriating. Okay. We solved one problem, we've still got another one. Maybe now it'll be like, it puts the item in over here and then it comes back, and because it got rid of the item successfully, it's okay. You reckon he wants the bottom copper chest? It's possible. It's possible. We don't want to change too many things at once, though, so let's see what happens. Oh, for goodness sake. The last employee was okay with that one, but now you're just like... No, I'm not using that one. Let's get rid of the bottom chest. I mean, that doesn't need to be there for us to conduct our test. You're fired, by the way. I mean, I did end up putting that block there. No, don't just look at it! Don't just look at it! That is like, why? Why? Oh my god, okay. Right, let's try something a little different now. So let's say your work area is like that. And we'll put this thing here. So like maybe that position is technically closer. Yeah, and then you come up here. This is not where you're supposed to be. Oh, for goodness. This guy's getting fired. See ya. You think the double chest confuses it? Well, it doesn't confuse it the first 5 times. People say AI is going to take over the world. It's so wrong you can barely sort it out. I mean, Mojang's AI ain't going to take over the world. That's what we've learned. Why does this stare at the last one when it's got an item in its hand? I am not getting this. Okay, let's go there. X is a tough boss. If you don't do the work, you're getting destroyed. Double chest might count as 2 for the 10. That's a possibility. That's a good shout. Right, another... How many... Who's keeping track of how many employees have been fired today? Let's try that theory. That's a good theory. That's a good suggestion. If it's true, though, it's just going to mean that the Copper Golem is going to end up being pretty pants. If it can't work with more than, what, 4 double chests at once? And then round the corner. Oh! Oh! He's making me mad! He's making me fired! Oh, I'm running out of ideas here. This is so bad. It's just like, come on. Okay, well, like, I have no idea why that doesn't work. Let's see if it'll just go for 6 in this direction now, right? It's almost like, hey, look, there's a chest with no item in, so I'm not going to put one in, even though that's how it works. Well, all that big talk about how we're gonna use this for like a big sorting system, and he'll put it in there. Fascinating. Okay. Okay, let's see then. Let's see if these are doubled up. Are you still going to do that? Are you going to be happy with them all being in a row? Because I want to find out how far we can push this. Right, so you got one more item. Or you haven't, because you come back and you decide, I'm not doing this anymore. I want to get fired. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm losing my mind, people. I mean, technically that has happened, right? Like, it has put an item in here and now it is just not doing anything again. Right as I think we're about to make a little bit of progress, this guy's like, nah, sorry, sucker. I guess maybe I can test this somewhat by having a new one here. Okay. I've had another idea while we've been doing this. Now, this idea will be great if the Copper Golem can go above itself. How tall is this guy? Dude, can you actually just, like... Do you need any blocks above you? What about some glasses so we can see you working? Right, it just opened the one at the end, didn't it? But you come back here and you refuse to continue working. Ah, look at that. Okay. So, if a golem could reach above, then picture this as a slice. The glass is just there to keep them in. Actually, this is not as cool as I had hoped it would be, because then from over here, when you're interacting with the storage, it's like you're going to have a space in between it. Let me show you the idea. 2 copper golems. And one of them's doing magic tricks. Oh, you might not fit into that side. Interesting. Fired. Trying to escape now, are they? Shouldn't it not pathfind and fall to its death? I feel like you would fit in there. Not quite, not quite. So maybe... No. Maybe you need like a hitbox of a specific type here. I reckon it'll be possible to do something like this, right? You just got to figure out the little details about it. Maybe if that isn't there. Nope. Anyway, some sort of like 2 golems going back and forth would be a cool way to double it up, but maybe not. Alright, so this one is probably still refusing to work, but let's see what's in the hoppers. Yeah, it's done absolutely nothing else. So currently, Copper Golem goes and sorts a little bit and then just decides to give up. Oh, they want to pathfind. Oh my god, the trapdoors might be giving us grief. We fortunately just learned that their hitbox is kind of small, which means we could probably have them running on slabs. Please don't tell me this whole time it's just been because I've been using trapdoors. I thought the trapdoor thing was so cool. Thought I was a cool cat coming up with that one. Alright, don't get fired, buddy. This guy's like, what is my existence? What am I supposed to do here? Hey, we are playing on a snapshot. Like, if things don't work on a snapshot, it's kind of to be expected, right? Well, you haven't even looked more than one... Like, what are you doing? You haven't looked at more than one chest and you've given up. Come on, come to this one at the end. It's always the one at the end that's a problem. Not this time, not this time. Now, will you go and work again? Oh, please! Give me a break. Why? Why'd you just not continue? I mean, I've thrown this chest down like in a snapshot video, and it's just happy to interact with it. Ah. Okay, there's something quirky going on here. I don't know what it is. I don't know why you're sort of slightly above. Does it have something to do with the hitboxes around the copper chest? It's taking me too long to figure this stuff out, isn't it? And then those items go into here. Brilliant. Now, this time you go back and... you just stare at me. Of course you would. I reckon it might have something to do with the blocks being on top of it. Didn't I just give you a little nudge? There we go. Yo, Mando 706, thank you ever so much for 7 months. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for the support. So we gotta go back to what we were trying to do before now. So now when this guy comes to the end here, I'll put an iron trapdoor in. Oh no. Is it that? Is it these blocks here that cause a problem with its pathfinding? We just can't figure this guy out. What do you want? You want to go exploring? It would seem. It would seem. This is so unreliable. Oh my god. Each time we think we suss out something we've done wrong, it just breaks down again. And it's like, nah, it's me, I'm the problem, not you. It's me, I'm the problem, it's... How does that song go again? It's me, not you, I'm the problem, it's me. Man, I haven't heard that song in a minute. Yeah, the copper golem is the problem, not us. Right, so this time what it should do... Oh my god, I put an item in there, didn't I? It should get to the end here and then go for this one. And to be fair, it might pick that one before this one. I don't know. You might end up wanting to move this over by one. So that item ends up in there. Okay. So, this doesn't work. That's fine. We also don't know if we can double stack the chests, but in order to build an actual functional storage system, you gotta have double stacked chests. So let's hope the Mojang are out there listening to feedback, finding out what doesn't work with these things. It's got to work like this because you're going to want to double stack them, right? So then the second floor is going to be at this height here. So it's going to need to figure out how to look in that chest fired while there's, you know, slabs above it, basically. It's going to need to learn that. Yeah, I think maybe minimizing the amount of extra blocks in the area might help with pathfinding stuff, so... fired, sorry. That guy didn't even do anything wrong. Just standing there. I don't even know how many ones it checked, you know? Okay, so now what we're going to understand is that this is just... Oh, it's going to look into those chests because it looks downwards, which might not end up being an issue in the grander scheme of things, right? But I just kind of want to show you where this design was going, basically. So you'll change the layout width based on how far that copper golem tracks, right? So when it comes over to here, you want to pass it off to another golem. So I'm going to go... yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's bring it out one more block. So it's like one block further away from this side. So that's as far as it can go. And then it drops something off into there, which comes down to this level. And now you can see there is space for the golem to stand here and hopefully deliver those things across that way, right? Then at this side, we're going to see something similar. It's in line with this here, so it goes there. And then your chest is just around the corner. It could just have a slab above it, couldn't it? Like that. That's looking a little cleaner for us to look at. Now we can make better sense of this. Now it's a little tidier. Alright, so then this level goes down to a copper chest here. Now what you could do in a system like this is have all of your chests act as filters for the items you want the copper golem to put them into. Now, if the copper golem is going to have decent functional AI to like work with the player's expectations, I think it's fair to say that it should be going from like one side to the other, so to the nearest chests. Okay, and then there'll be like a chest there, right? That looks about right. And then you have a copper golem at every level. That's your sorting system. That's a cool little screenshot right there. So you'll have something at the front on this side, like you go and put all of your junk into there. You'll be standing probably around this height so you can reach up and down to all the different levels. And then you can put some item frames and stuff on them. Now, when the copper golem pathfinding is much better, that's when we can then start to make these systems a little more elaborate or manageable, like what we got going on over here. With these categories, we could perhaps start to have space between them. But that's really going to rely on the copper golem being more robust. Currently, it's very slow and buggy, as we've seen. But essentially, any items that end up in here, when you drop them off at the front of your storage system, they are going to go through the top lot first, down to the next one, down again. It's going to go through all of the chests eventually, right? And then you can just use it like a normal one from the front, except you have to leave one of each type of item in each chest. It feels like watching an ant farm, says Wilvis. But says they do seem to have trouble with full blocks above them for sure. They just seem to have trouble in general. It's hard to nail down like what the issue is. Have I tried spawning them without an egg? Is it one of those silly problems? Frontierman, if it is, it won't be that. It'll be so many little things that you try just to find out, oh, it's because you're in a world that has the number 3 in the seed, right? Like, if there is some quirkiness stop it from working, we kind of need Mojang to patch that. This needs to just be functional in a way where we can start to interact with it and design storage systems. Right now it appears to be really buggy and not doing what it's supposed to. Bin Railwist says, why does it keep saying Copper Golem can't pick up item and Copper Golem can't place item? That's the subtitle system. So it just tells you like what the sounds mean. You think they need 2 blocks to move. They aren't pathfinding. I must admit, for a minute now, they have they all been like stood right where I spawned them without moving around? Yeah. Okay, and if they can't walk in this space with a slab above their heads, then we're kind of screwed for having a nice orderly storage system at the front. Unless they're able to put in the one below like they currently do, which might be a bug, and the one at that level, then you could have something like this where they do those 3. The next floor above would be these 3, and so it would have slabs at this height instead. But we're relying on some functionality changes at that point. Conceptually, though, I think this is probably the way you're going to end up doing stuff. It works this way on Bedrock, says Henrique. On Bedrock, they can put them in at this height here, and I never tested down at that height there. Can they insert into empty copper chests? I don't think so. I think they just take out of copper chests. Why does it take them so much more time to work on Java? They've probably just not been implemented correctly. I didn't want to build this on preview just because I don't really play on preview, you know. I don't play on that edition of the game, so although I could go figure it out now, then you might come over here and find out that it's kind of quirky and doesn't work. We'll get a snapshot tomorrow, and hopefully in the changelog there'll be some stuff related to the Copper Golem pathfinding and sorting, and then I'll be a little bit more clued up as to maybe what they mean after seeing this. Top Guy Rose acting different now. Yes, it does indeed seem that the slabs are an issue. The only thing is this guy is like refusing to pick items out of the chest after he's sorted 1. It's so silly. Also, you know, we kind of went to slabs because the trapdoor thing wasn't working. I wonder if I change it back again, what would happen? That one now can move, you see. Fired! Now this one can move. Actually, it does look like it's looking up. It's looking up. Clearly. So maybe we need a block here. You're looking up at that one even though there's blocks. That's actually our little spot for them to go drop off if they can't put anything into there. Yeah, it could be an issue that they're seeing the copper chest. It's definitely looking up at it. So we need fixes for the pathfinding, and we need things to be reliable. I also think Mojang needs to make these things compatible for building contraptions like this. Like if they say, actually, you know, a copper golem looking at a chest that it can't reach is okay, then it's going to make these storage systems so much more awkward to work with. You're going to have to like really maneuver things out of the way, and that will take up space and be counterintuitive. So yeah, it's not looking great. Maybe try system more sparse to see if it works, and then try to compact it after. I don't want to do that because I think you want to start with the basic sort of what the players are going to anticipate building, which has got to be the wall of chests, right? Like, there is a balance between what the Copper Golem will do and what the player expects. And if they're going to have quirky behavior where they need stuff spaced out and, you know, this has got to be pushed back all the way over here so that one can't see it, you're just going to end up driving yourself mad. So I kind of feel like let's wait to see what Mojang do with pathfinding and fixing bugs with these. And maybe when it's more refined, we'll be able to figure out what we can do with it. Because if you can't do something as basic as a wall of chests, which every player has built at some point in time, like, what do you want these Copper Golems to do when it comes to item sorting? Do you want them to, like, spread out and take forever? You know, filtering chests one by one across a large area? Who's with me? I'm looking at you, chat. Tell me if you understand what I'm saying. Are you with me, or am I making a mistake here? I really feel like just the current state of them means let's wait, and we also want to see if they're going to make them work towards a player's expectations. Okay, we got some agrees. That's good. I feel like I'm on the right track with that. That's an important thing in game design, is understanding a player's expectation. It doesn't mean you have to yield to what the player expects, but it's good to understand, like, from their experience, what they expect. Like, I think if you're gonna say here's a Copper Golem, it sorts items away for you, it kind of needs to fall in line with what a player would expect that means, because they could introduce all sorts of quirky rules. You know, the first chest it will sort to is the one nearest, and then it will look for one that's exactly 2 blocks away, and then 3 blocks. Like, you could build any type of system, and you don't want it to be finicky and awkward, and you don't want it to have quirky rules the player has to figure out through trial and error. You want them to kind of settle into something simple and straightforward. And that's why I thought, you know, the wall of chest is just simple and straightforward. Every player already builds it. If you look at it from back here, it kind of makes sense that the golem could just sort its way across, and then when it runs out, it's at the end. Can it search shulkers? That's a good point. I don't think they made it so it can interact with shulkers, which is what this system revolves around, right? It certainly can't search them. Let me double check that. I seem to recall it not being a thing. Bert says that they don't. Is Cybot still in chat? I'm curious to see what Cybot makes of all of this. He's our storage wizard. If anyone will have an interesting opinion on it, it'll be Cybot. Not that y'all's opinions aren't interesting, just I want to hear from Cybot. So yeah, they don't interact with shulkers. I think that's a mistake. But I would, because I love my shulker sorting over here. It might be, though, that the way we use it is that you create a filter for these 4 categories of items, and then they come in for a hopper at the back. So your shulkers are still filters. So the Copper Golem has all of these 4 together in its filtering system, which, by the way, we didn't get around to building because we didn't get to an advanced thing. You're doing a super spread out thing now. Are you using the golems, Cybot? Let's have a look. So I forgot how to build this, but, like, it's one of those things you can just kind of figure out on the fly. Oh, you are? Okay. Feel free to send me a screenshot or something. I'll be super interested in whatever you're up to. Okay, so what did I have? Our filter in here. We need to detect the signal length. I think it was super easy because you need a signal length of 2. And then it's going to point. It's going to create a block there. It was a bit to figure out because it's not quite like a regular item filter. Plus, this gets like an item trapped inside the hopper. So you needed 2 hoppers pointing into each other, but you needed that one to only lock the first. So its positioning is important. example. That's kind of what I might need. Yeah. So like, it blinked. There you go. I think that means that's in the correct position because that was a very fast pulse. So you need to get like a double chest here, and then your 2 signal strength needs to come back and point into that. I can't remember how I did it in the video. Only 1 copper chest and 10 regular chests in the full 32 area. And how does that work vertically? Because isn't it like 8 blocks vertically? So maybe that's why these are just getting confused, is because we've always had the extra ones nearby. Like if I do this, does the one up there start working again? Maybe all these other chests will confuse it as well. Here's what I'm talking about. So you want a signal strength of 2. Maybe, I can't remember how I did it. I think I might have just not made it 1 wide. Cybot says, yeah, I'm doing no verticality for now. Interesting. Okay. In that case, like, who would agree? Like, it has to... If we're going to use these copper golems, they've got to make it vertically compatible. Otherwise, I don't see, like, stretched out storage systems being that popular, like a big corridor to run down. You want all your stuff to be close so you can pick it all out. You sent a screenshot. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So I'll describe it to my chat. I also see some, what looks like possibly some comparator filtering of some kind on there, but I'm not sure what that is. It's like, if you imagine having the chunk grid open, it's like one little module like this, and then you go the correct distance, like across a chunk or 2 to the next one. So in order to get 1 golem to interact with the 10 chests, it's got to be separated by quite some distance. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay, well, I think we've well and truly learned that these are not ready for building storage systems as of yet. I can't remember what I did to get this to work with a signal strength of 2. Or maybe I settled for 3. So you would go 1, 2, 3, like that. I think this is... Oh, I can't put a piece of redstone wire there. Maybe it just runs on a 2-tick delay. So now, like you have a large amount of items that just sort of act as buffing up the signal strength. See, that's not even enough, is it? That's not even enough for, Wow. Don't know what I was expecting, but now we're at 2. Okay, now it starts to take some items out. And with this filter, nothing should remain inside the hoppers, which I thought was important. Okay, so... the additional item is going to go in up here, right? So let's say the additional item is a copper ingot or a redstone torch. We take out 2 of those. We still keep it all down the bottom. Now, the copper golem will come in and drop stuff up the top here, like up to 16. And the only items that come out are the ones that are up here. Yo, Darfail04, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a good time. Let's say that we now want to go ahead and add comparators into our filtering system. We take out a chest, put that there. These things now get filtered from the top. No items will remain in the hopper. They'll all end up in the bottom chest. So that was kind of another idea. Was to have a bunch of these in an area with a copper golem, right? So the copper golem's got its copper chest. Just over here somewhere. By the way, since we removed those other ones, it looks like this one's been slowly sorting away these items. Or not, because no, nothing went in the end one. So no, it's actually not gone over to this end chest. Why? I don't know. These things are annoying. Okay. Like, picture it like this. Copper golem here. Oh, he's found a way up top. Brilliant. And then all it's got to do is scan a bunch of these. I'm not sure if this design is tileable. I think it is. But I have to double check. Right. So now it's just dropping items off very short distances into these. These can hold a lot of items to move somewhere else. And that's when we can start to think a little bit more like this. We start to shift a group of items over to one area. It goes through a hopper chain. And then it fills up all of your shulker box filters, right? If you run that through multiple phases, you're going to end up having to reuse the items in the filter. So for diamonds, not the worst thing. But maybe for nether stars, it's a bit of a pain in the bum. Right, I think we're going to spend the second half of this stream on Hermitcraft. How does that sound, peeps? What they are good for testing right now is whether mobs will escape a place. Yeah. This was good fun though. It was nice to do a little bit of semi-engineering stuff on stream. I mean, I've done so much contraptioning in the past on this game that it feels like there's not a lot left within my range. So it's really nice when something like the copper column comes along and it's a bit more simple and we can flex those muscles and do some redstone-y contraptioning type stuff again. But this was not it. It's not there yet. Let's go play some Hermitcraft. It's a work in progress at the moment, says Bert. Yeah, I mean, it literally is in the snapshot, right? So, what's good is we learned enough to know that when we go do a snapshot video, we'll be able to assess like the bug fixing a little better now. We'll understand some of the stuff we hope to see there. Yo, Zabditiv, thank you so much for using the Prime. I appreciate it, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a fantastic time. Thank you for supporting the channel. All right, let's get on here. I'm down for some Metro Mayhem, people. Might have to ask Joe if he's running it. Oh wait, I'm already here, so I can see. Joe's not running it. I think that means we should do a run. What's the state of my inventory? It's post art gallery stuff that I scrambled around doing yesterday. Okay, that looks a bit more reasonable all of a sudden. Right, I think the first run we're gonna do. I mean, I could just go for it. There's one or two spots where I learned some new tricks, but I think they'll come to me as we run around the course. I'm thinking back on it, and I kind of know where they are, so I think we'll be okay. The main one though is the beginning. Cub went on the left side here, so you go up. If we go to the left. The cobwebs are the same. We've got to keep an eye out for, apparently, blocks might retract in the middle. Then when we get to here, we go around and then another cobweb and then this drop down. Apparently, you just come straight back up again. I think you can actually do that on this side as well, right? Down, across, up. So maybe I'll stick to my preferred right-hand side, but the left would be slightly quicker. Right, now, I can get a little roped into these games. You know me. I don't want to get too intense about this because I've got a decent score in the book and I'm not going to beat the top score and I just want to have fun, you know? I've got to remind myself of that, though. Oh, is it possible to beat JoJo's time? Now, I could have swore that JoJo had a sub-10 stack score. But no. It's 10 stacks 56. And EFO has cracked that score, and Cub has come very close to catching up on EFO already as well. I'm pretty sure Pearl has improved her score massively. And I think Jevon's improved it by like half a stack or something. So there's some competition here, that's for sure. If you ain't first, you're last, says Killy Scott. That is an interesting quote. That is the mentality for a lot of people. Time to change the Twitch streaming title. I guess I could do that, yeah. Okay. It's done, it's done. It's done. I can change it too. Cute Garsted, thank you. Hi, X. After watching the videos of Hermits tackling Skiz's pyramid, I was wondering whether has anyone thought about maybe doing a book for Skiz about what you all esteem about him. I certainly haven't thought about that. It's a cool idea though. Let me lock in and let's do this. Oh, aren't we gonna have music playing? So I need to pause our current playlist. All right, and we're off. We're off to the back. Terrible start. Not that I care about the little... Hey, wait, where's the music? Where's the music, man? I mean, not just that. I need music to actually run the course. Deafened. Oh, is it? Oh, I'm deafened. Yeah, I am. Should we... Yeah, okay, I've stopped. I feel like it feels very odd to run it without the proper audio. Right, you ready for a new top score, people? This is how you get the highest score. If I can find a legit jump over that wall, we have found the new highest score. Maybe if someone like punches me over the wall. Is there actually a way to get over this wall? I don't think there is. I could break the block. Is that a player-only pressure plate? I'm pretty sure stone is player, isn't it? Yeah, dang it. There's a reset button. Is there? What, do I just press that again? Oh. So there is. Yo, check me out, son! I'm joking. It didn't stop the music. I hope we're not going to have a case of the double musics. Let's go. Okay, music restarted. That's fine. Right, I'm actually going to go to the right just because that's what I'm used to doing and I'll feel more comfortable with it. No, you don't shift yet. You shift once you hit the wall. New low score hype. A low score is a high score. Jump, 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 jump. Nice. Right, all the way to the wall. Just drop. Ah, missed it. So that's one of our little shortcuts we've got to add to the time. And then down here off the middle. Jumping's faster, right? Oh. Woo. Oh, look at that. Pro. Oh, no, not so pro. It started good and then it got bad. Come on, come on, come on. Right, up, 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 up. Straight ahead. Into the hole. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Oh, this is some amazing right here. Some. Oh no, it's not amazing. I was just about to say, I'm locked in. I'm focused. What the heck? Hey, I'm rusty. It's my first run today. Shut up. I said that to myself. Stop talking. Focus. Yeah. Set that spawn. Off we go. Yo, I cannot wait to see Etho's next Hermitcraft episode. I want to see his run here, and I want to see that gasket ball. Whoa! Hello, Georgie boy. Oh, no! Into the cobweb. Oh! Oh, for goodness sake! The run's over. The run's over. I can just work a little bit. You can kind of jump over them, I think. Interesting. Just work on each of the bits. Try to do your best in each area. Dang, I've got a lot of pizza here. It's only slightly faster, I think, to take those turns on these jumps, but it is faster, you know what I mean? This one, this area, I'm not so sure about. This feels like it's intentionally a bit more deceptive. Like maybe there are some spots where you just jump on the soul sand and live with it. Okay, you really want to avoid touching the water in spots like that. I got extra pizza because I reset. Fair enough. I deserve it. Okay, I'm not going to bother with that new shortcut Cub showed us because I ain't got the skills for that jump. It's just straight over. Alright, and then in this next area, we know something now. Hello? Oh, am I not in swim? Oh my god, I wasn't in swim mode. So welcome. You jump here
the Metro Mayhem
and just go around like this. Is that actually shorter though? I'm not sure if that's actually a shorter way of getting there.
Thank you for enjoying Hermitcraft Season 1.
I enjoyed it.
This exhibit was
all of it. I was there.
Of
That's actually probably the way you want to land, is under that block.
That you have to go look at Cleo's thing next.
Oh, I was about to say that. Oh my god, the timing there was a little different than usual, right? Okay. Good stuff. And then we need to jump, 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 jump. And then get ready to jump again. Jump, jump, jump. Eat on the ladder. I mean, our health is pretty low, pretty low. If you hold space while landing on the slime, you only bounce a little bit. Oh yeah, of course. Of course, of course, of course. That's a mechanic I don't think about too much in this game.
Listen, Green. Nobody touches me.
Right, down we go. Okay. Jump. Ah, fluffed it. Ah, fluffed it again. Nope, I can't get it. There we go. So this one... the timing is so bad for me here. Was I on the right height? Whew. Okay, I know there's a shortcut there now, but I'm just going to do this.
His name is Mumbo Jumbo. His name is Mumbo Jumbo.
Open sesame! Okay, and then jump, jump. Oh my god, that was painful. I had flashbacks from last time we ran this thing. Oops. Slightly wrong way at the end. There might be a slightly quicker way out if you go straight across. Right, how painful was that? Ow! Very painful. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. I knew it wouldn't be that good. You can't wait for someone to die on the berry bushes. It will happen eventually, won't it? It's got to, really, if you think about it. Right, I'm going to hydrate a little bit. And we're going to do another run. Maybe we see if Joe wants to do a run. I should wait for an answer before I run again. Okay, Joe's not doing one. Fair enough, fair enough. Right. Let's lock in. Oh, up, up, up. That's good. And off we go! Come on, we're out, we're out. Oh, it's so slow. Why is it... That felt slower than usual. I don't know why it was so slow. Come on, come on, come on. Right, this next bit is tricky. Like spelling Mississippi. I did jump. Oh my god. I kind of forgot and pressed spacebar and there was still time. That is definitely faster. Definitely faster. Wow. Okay. This jumping bit is a bit off. Woo! It caught me. Okay, that's good. That's good. Right. Down we go. Nice little turn around. Don't want to hit those blocks. We're okay. We're okay. Hitting a lot of blocks on the way through, though. Okay, right there. Whew. Look up. Look down. Look up. Look down. Look up. Look down. Look up. Look down. Look up. Oh, it's so predictable. Ugh. Oh, stay away from me. Oh, overshot that. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. That is going to slow me down. Right, we're going through on the left. Oh no! Oh, I had the timing so good. Oh, I was gonna have it perfect, but no. Right, eat some food because we're low on health. That was unfortunate. We can still do it. We can still do it. I know. Just got to lock in. Oh! Oh no! It's all falling apart. Oh, sensational! We made up for it on that second bit. Right, avoid all the water and hop. Very good. And now this bit here probably could have done with a little something something. It's just the long run. Right, and I'm gonna eat something as I fall. Which may have actually been a terrible idea. Whew! Right, let's make sure we're in swim mode. Got it. Lovely. Let's go the EFO way today.
To the Metro Mayhem Hermit History Experience.
Not sure if it's a shortcut.
Thank you for enjoying Hermitcraft Season 1.
Right, hold down
This exhibit
spacebar.
was created through the efforts of Corrales
Oh no, it didn't work!
and Joe Hills, who
Why does
apologized
space not work there?
for look at Cleo's thing next.
Right, there's TNT. Let's wait. Otherwise, we're just going again. Oh, I can't sprint? No, I can. I can sprint. Right, it's going to come down to a couple of jumps at the end, really, isn't it? But I'm really happy with that, other than the slime bit. But I think we did all right, so we're on track. We're on track. Okay. Okay. Ah! Caught the edge of the ladder. His name is Mumbo. His name is Mumbo. That is his name. Whoo! Breathe, X! Breathe! It's okay. It's okay.
Listen, Green. Nobody touches my
Okay.
bush. You're done.
Down we go.
It all started when Green touched my redstone. He played himself like a xylophone, set on automatic.
Okay, take your time a little bit.
Savage, with technical skills and crazy vocal acrobatics.
Nice.
Dr. NH Joe, with Etho beef and double O. Doc MC is coming for you sevenfold. Got Ram Duck and other fireman to douse the flames that you
Oh no, too late.
fan is skull can try again.
No. Got it.
Mumbo Jumper. His name is Mumbo Jumper. His name is Mumbo Jumper. His name is Mumbo Jumper.
Come on.
His name is Mumbo Jumper. His name is Mumbo Jumper. His name is Mumbo.
Woo! Okay, this is it. This is it, people. Avoid the bushes. Straight across like that. That's got to be faster. And then... Woo! That's got to be decent. That's got to be near my score. My score is 13 and 14. That is 13 and 6. Nice. Could have been a little bit better. Could have got that sub 13. That's our new goal now. New personal best. I think we can get it below 13 with time. It is only down by like 8 nugs, but you know, it was that slime block bit that kind of got me. Should we do a little something in between? Should we give it a break? Maybe do like one more run and then go do Wordle. You want to hear my part of the Hermit Gang song? Only if we get a low score. You still think that sprint jumping down the shredder tunnel will shave a few seconds off? Oh yeah, I'm not much of a sprint jumper, me. Let's do one more run and then play Wordle and then come back. Like, you do need to take a break, but I kind of feel like I'm in a good place. So, like, why not try one more run? And off we go. Right, sprint. Hold shift. And then get the heck out of here. Right, on we go. I bet y'all are gonna love the world download, right? I was just thinking, maybe now's not the best time to talk about it. But this season more than ever has got so much awesome stuff in for you to do in the world download. Oh, the strafe jump there is slightly better. That was good. I think you got to jump a little earlier as you approach on that bit. Wow, that was about the worst I've ever done going through that one section. Okay. Seem to be hitting just about everything on the way through, as normal. Oh! Don't worry, we can make it up. We can make it up. Good stuff. This is all very good. Right, up we go. Yep, we set the spawn. Nicely done. We're going to go to the right-hand side. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, I got pushed into a cobweb again. Oh, for goodness sake. Whew! But the rest of it, pretty good. Man, that is annoying. Cobwebs are brutal. Okay. Oh, lame! Direct hit. Oh no. Oh, this is poor. This is poor. Oh, this is so bad. All my spacebar timing seems to be off. Okay. Avoid the water. And now we jump. You think that's it? I can't get the score now. Probably not, but hey. I think eating there when you drop down actually doesn't really help your momentum much at all. It kind of kills it a little bit here. So maybe that's not a good eating spot. Okay. We're going to do the EFO way.
Welcome to the Metro Mayhem Hermit Histories.
I think that's actually faster once you just nail that going to the left instead of the right.
Thank you for enjoying Hermitcraft Season 1. This exhibit
Hold
was
space.
created
It didn't work.
of Corrales, Xisuma, and Joe Hills, who apologize that you have to go look at
TNT's out. That's changed. That was not working that way before. Whew. That has changed. We had some food here last time at this section, but then I guess we've actually got full health. Waiting for that ladder. That's a good time to eat. Oh, oh. And now the silent part of the course where the music stops. Ah. Like I think we have to really like nail the jumps on the last part here to get a better score. If we can do the TNT and the diagonal first time, I think we can get it. But if we slip up a bit, I think that might be it. So we're only going to be able to shave off a little bit.
Nobody touches my bush. You're done. It all started when Green touched my redstone. He played himself like a xylophone, set on automatic.
Oh no!
With technical skills and crazy vocal acrobatics. I'm a legend of
There we go. Right, first time TNT jump. Woo! Okay, maybe. Oh! Sometimes that doesn't work. I jumped.
His name is Mumbo Jumper. 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 His name.
Okay. Oh, well, it's all over now. Is there a ladder to get out of here? Pfft. Dang it! Well, maybe we'll get to hear my verse today. Practice. Ah. Nope. There we go.
His name is Mumbo Jumper.
We're getting better at those bits at least.
His name is Mumbo Jumper.
What's his name again?
His name is
I
Mumbo
forgot.
Jumper. His
What
name
is it, mate?
Mumbo Jumper.
Cheers.
His name is.
This one annoys me. Like, why do I occasionally mess that up? I don't know. You go to the left and here, and then through the middle. Take a couple of... too many. Okay, take a couple of hits. But yeah. Alright. I don't know why I need to look, because we know it was terrible. Let's resume our normal music. Oh, I'm going to sit down for the next part of the stream. I've been stood the whole time. I am knackered because I went for a long run this morning. I'm also going to nip to the loo quickly, people. Can you hear me still? I moved away from the microphone. That's so unprofessional of me. People, I'm just going to go take a little tinkle. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. I need to put the fan on. It's a little stuffy in here. He's back, hide the torches. You better. I'll have no writers in my chat, you're getting kicked out. I'm joking, you know that, right? Yo, there's a lot of you tuned in today. Be sure to hit the follow button if you're enjoying the stream. Also, I've been getting back into making music. There are 2 tracks, not just this one. 2 tracks now for you to enjoy. I've had some really good feedback on both of them, actually. Which is nice to hear. I really love hearing what people think of the music. So, yeah, if you want to go check it out, leave a comment. I really want to work on some new stuff. Like, I am just so in the mood for it right now. I was listening to Old Sorcery earlier today, writing a little review on my music blog, and I was just thinking, man, I'm listening to this record, like, hearing the sounds and thinking, oh, I just want to get in there and, like, find a bunch of instruments and come up with my own little, like, dungeon synth sound. And I've also been listening to a lot of classical music on piano, because I've been learning to play piano, and I've been doing like music theory stuff where I'm like laying out a bunch of chords and their relationships to other ones and like the scales and finding sounds that I want to work with. It's been so cool. I kind of wish like the days lasted forever and I could just work on it all day long. Yo, I don't think this was here last time I was here. That is an amazing bus stop. Wonder how many new buildings there are actually. Actually, no, I think I got the feeling for a second there might have been like a new building in the area. Does Impulse need a cha-cha wood? Oh wait, I don't have a farm for that. Never mind. That's one of the ones I never did. Learning piano is such a help for learning music theory, says Lavirock. Yeah, so it started for me with like my first few steps was this book called Hook Theory, which I tried a long time ago and it didn't click. Today it clicked. Well, not today. Recently it clicked. And then I realized that I need to like, I'm looking at the keyboard as I'm learning stuff. And I'm like, I need to know what these keys are. So I got this little overlay thing to put the letters on the keys. So now you see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Yeah, that note, H. And it really started to click once I saw the notes together. And then everything else I've been doing has just been like wrapping into that understanding of the notes. And so learning piano is like getting... yeah, H, the note after G. Shut up. It's... yeah, it really ties it all together. Unlike... the guitar doesn't really do that because the fretboard layout is kind of like awkward. And I've tried to learn it a bit more, but... I'm starting to pick things up, but I can have to remind myself a lot more with the fretboard than with the keyboard. The keyboard is like you learn the layout once and it just sticks with you, whereas the fretboard, it's like kind of a bit of a pain. You have to think about it a lot in your head. Just joined. Have I done any MM runs? Yeah, we're taking a break from it though. I just got a new personal best, which is kind of cool. What classical piano do you listen to? I've been listening to Eric Satir, is it, recently? And then in the past I listened to like so many because there was this thing that got advertised on TV, like the Great Composers set, and it was like 2 CDs of like every famous composer, and I got the whole collection and just like devoured it. And so there's loads of names that I like. With piano, Chopin is probably my favorite, and Debussy as well. But yeah. Piano helps to visualize everything. When I began learning piano, it helped me understand a lot of what I already knew. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going through right now. Am I an Explosions in the Sky fan? Not really, but I've seen them live. I'm not into that kind of like epic post-rock stuff that much, but it's alright. Why am I putting... like, we're just playing Wordle, right? I guess I'm putting my stuff in here because it's nice to have an inventory for Wordle. That's why. Name 20 classical composers. I'll give you a list to start off. Come on, that surely there's another name or two we can put in there for the pun. That's a good one. Wait, you exist outside of Minecraft, says Flow Waffles? Yeah, yeah. You love Debussy. Beethoven is your favorite, even though I feel like it's basic. Yeah, Beethoven, Mozart's. Who's the other one? Oh my god, I can literally picture the painting of him. Bach. Those three are kind of like the big three, right? But their music's so great. Like, just because something is like well known or really popular doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, you know. The big three, lol, yeah. Vivaldi's another one up there. No, I would say Mozart's, Bach, and Beethoven have got to be the three most well known, right? I reckon if you polled people, I'm not saying who's the best, I'm saying well known. Vivaldi is known, but I don't think as much as those other three. Wagner is also very well known, but I feel like the most household name would be those three. You don't think piano existed when Bach died? We're talking just classical music in general, I guess, not specifically. Tchaikovsky does some amazing music as well. Einaudi? I'm not sure if I've heard of Einaudi. I listened to a lot of George Gershwin. I think his music was very, if I'm thinking of the right person, very like Disney sounding music, like old school Disney. Hans Zimmer is like a modern movie score legend. Piano was not invented when Bach was alive. Yeah, I'm sort of talking about who are the three most well-known names in classical music, right? Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. Should we play Wordle? I've got to refresh my... Every time I do this, I'm like, let's refresh the memory. I can keep the armor on. The wings need repairing. I might have to go... I need to pay to play. It's pay to play, not pay to win. Just put in an extra diamond and you get like a free letter. Oh my god, can you imagine doing that in a minigame on Hermitcraft? See who takes it. We kind of know this, but I like to just double check. All words are 5 letters, you have 5 guesses. Supplies from the marked chest on the right. Guess the words. Confirm your guess with the button on the left. You don't press the button first, do you? There's no start game. There's just confirm guess. So the game is ready to play. Now, we did this last time and I pulled up a bunch of like stuff off of Google for the most common 5-letter words and letters and stuff. I'm not going to do that this time. I mean, you can only win if you pay, so technically it's pay to win. This is true. We need a Venn diagram here. Then it will make sense. So what word do I want to go with? I'm going to try and use my brain. Should we start with S and T? Because they sometimes appear in words together quite often. Then you want a vowel like A. Stamp. It's not a great guess. I am just going to play for the fun of it. I'm not gonna overdo this one, right? Where is M? There it is. Stamp. Stamp is my guess. Some of y'all are screaming. X. This is a poor choice of word. P is ridiculously uncommon. What are you doing? You've only put in one vowel. This is a poor guess, X. What if it like Postmaster Pearl has stamps? It's a word that's more likely to cross her mind. See what I mean? I'm playing the psychological game up here. Also, has anyone been keeping track of what the previous words are? Because you can rule those out of your guesses, if that's how that works. Does that mean I got zilch? I think I got zilch. Yay, zilch! My favorite. Do you know why? Because now we know it's not any of these 5 letters. And you thought that was a bad guess. But look at all the knowledge that we just gained. Right, now we've got to start again. Zilch! What a great guess! Zilch! I have to do it. Where's the H, man? Stamp doesn't have a H in it. There it is. Zilch. Is zilch actually a word? I don't care. We're guessing zilch. But it's only got one vowel in it. Shut up. Quit complaining. This is the real way that you play Wordle. No math, no calculator. Let's see how we do. It's a word. Oh, wow. Incredible. Oh my god. We just ruled out another 5 letters. We are so good at this. We are so good at this. See, now we're surely going to get it this time. What word pops into mind? I feel like we've got to maybe go for a couple of vowels, like O and E. What one's that again? D. Dower. No. O and E. My brain is notoriously bad. Like, nothing is happening in my head when I add letters. There's just nothing going on up there. It's like there's just a can rattling around, blowing in the wind. Bog. Okay, like 3-letter words like booger, bogger. Now surely I can put something in the middle of that. Like ER is probably a good guess. Jogger. I think jogger is double G. You can't be a jobber. You can be a joiner, except I isn't allowed. Wobble, but L is gone. Have we still got U? Did we? Yeah, wait. I got a word. Vogue. Oh, yeah. Rogue, someone says. I think V was one of the letters recently added, so we'll go with Vogue. The reason that this word came to my mind was because of music. Madonna has a song called Vogue. It is awesome. It's like a very 90s pop song influenced by like house and dance music. And it's on the piano app that I use, so sometimes I like play along to it. It was a little bit of fun. So it's stuck in my head. I've misspelled it! Yay! I am so good at this game. I am so... I am just amazing. Once again, we have proven that none of these letters are in the final word. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. Just V-E-O. Oh, that's slightly disappointing, to be honest. That's another way to play this game, is to get through all the rounds without actually guessing the word. So if there are 2 rounds left, and you guessed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess reverse Wordle is like all but 4 letters, I think. Like, can you get through the game and only guess 4 of the letters? Intentionally bad mode. So we know that G and U is in the word, but not in... wait, that's actually where I placed them. So they won't go there. So now, on the front of vowels, there's only U there. I'm thinking a Y on the end. No, can you have... Bruggy. Wait, Druggy! How appropriate. Druggy? I don't think Paul would set the word as Druggy. Oh, apparently it's got 2 G's anyway. Rugby. Hello. Sitting right in front of me. Rugby. A sport. That means those 2 letters are not where they were before. Okay, let's try rugby. But hey, how do y'all like my new Wordle game where you try to get 0 guesses correct? It's so dumb. Hey!
You have
Woo!
guessed the word correctly.
I have.
Congratulations. Enjoy your prize.
Woohoo! Are we out of prizes? Oh. Rugby sounds like rugby. There's a B on my rug. It does sound like rugby. Right, so everything goes back in here. And you got to remember to... Imagine leaving that behind. Like, someone's just like, well, now I can't play. Also, I don't know if, like, we need to shuffle these at all. R and B is close together. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to, like... It's not like rugby is just sitting there at the end of the list. What was my score? I forgot. 4? I think 4 guesses. Kazoo was once the word. I can't remember what our guesses were, but let's go 04, 08. Do you ever go to type the date, and for some reason, it's like 2012 popped into my head, and I'm like, no, it's 2025, and then you're like, that's 13 years. Oh, that's a lot of time. How do y'all feel about, like, time passing you by and getting older? A lot of people don't like it. I'm kind of alright with it. I'm kind of like... I sort of want to word this without sounding... How do I word this without sounding really weird? But, like... I guess it's a case of, like, being young for me wasn't so great. And so it just feels like things get better with time in a strange way. So I kind of feel good about getting older. Plus, I'm a very forward-looking person. I plan stuff for the future, like holidays and seeing people and going to gigs. And so I always like just having stuff coming up, and I'm, like, forward-looking to them. I like getting older, I don't like aging, says House of Meza. Yeah, the aging thing ain't great. For me, it's yet to really, like, impede my physical lifestyle, so I'm sure my mind will start to change once I get a little bit too achy. Chana says, I agree, X, having a rough childhood makes me happy. I'm far away from it. Yeah. I forgot to change the stream title. No, I didn't. I changed the stream title. Maybe you need to hit refresh. Right, we need to repair the wings. I could probably leave the computer on and just let it do some sorting. It's not a bad idea. I have a feeling, though. I have a feeling that there was something special I needed to do for sorting. So we'll hang out here for a minute while we read the chat. Spare a thought for the old people moving slowly in front of you. Yes, yeah. I notice that a lot, actually. Like, if I'm in the shops and I'm in a bit of a hurry, and then you, like, just rush around some elderly people, I often think, like, what is that like from their perspective? You're just having people, like, move past you quickly all the time. I imagine it can be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Okay, let's take all of that and put it into this one. That's not going to go in there, because that's not where it would go. And then all of this goes away for sorting. And that as well. A couple of things in there that I could move over. Actually, the glass might go into the storage. Right, there's a lot of hermit heads in here. So, sorting, empty. That's my own thing. Put that in there. This goes in over here. I'm going to go repair the wings and tools and stuff, and then come back and set the sorter off, and then we'll go do something else. But I need to do another big sort. A little demoralizing, probably, says Bert. Yeah, that's it. I want to grow older so that I can participate in things that I'm restricted by age right now. I know I'm in the future. I want to go back to my youth, though. You will, yeah. There's a thing about this, though. Like, when you're young, everyone encounters someone older trying to tell you to make the most of it, or, like, you don't know what you got and all that kind of stuff. It is true that you will get older and wish you had behaved differently when you were younger. The only thing is, like, that never feels relevant when you're young. Because I remember what it was like to be young. You won't listen to a message like that. I noticed this was unusually boxy and wondered if there was something behind it. No. The only thing I can say is, like, if you are young, if you're, like, in your early 20s or younger, and you can take a moment to, like, hey, I'm going to just, like, sit and really think about what I want out of life and who I want to be and where am I going to go. And if you can ask yourself those tough questions, that'll do you a world of good, because I think it's just the ability to engage with those sorts of questions is what you really need. You don't have to do as some older person wishes they'd done in their youth. The main problem, I think, is just how you weren't as mature and you made poor life decisions as a result of it, and that maturity won't come until you start to realize what that is and reflect on it. So a little bit of, like, sitting down and being really honest with yourself and asking yourself tough questions will go a long way. Giving me an existential crisis. Cheers, way too dank. I don't think what I'm saying should give you an existential crisis. I don't. Getting to know yourself better, the real you, and what really matters to you is not scary. It's all to help you make a better life. It's just, I think when you're young, it's hard to, like, know the answers to those questions. The sooner you can learn them, the sooner you'll be doing the thing you really want to do. And it shouldn't be scary. It shouldn't be scary. Do I have any projects I'm currently working on? None. Although I am going to make a game. I'm going to make it in creative mode. Like, I'm not going to build it in survival straight away, because I want to figure out the ins and outs of it. But it was really weird. Like, it just came to me the other day. There's a really simple mechanic in this game that you can make a mini game out of, and I don't think I've ever seen someone, like, make this game with it. So I started to think about, like, okay, what can you do with that? And it's like, yeah, there's actually, like, loads of different ways you can play with this and make it fun. So at some point I'm going to start working on that. But I think I want it to be like an off-camera thing, and then show you later. You know, like, see the end result kind of thing. I'm joking. Specifically saying early 20s gave me a fright. Lol, feels like time is passing by way too quickly. That's all it'll ever do. It'll just pass by quicker than you want it to. But that's why you wanna make sure, you know, you're doing what you want to do with your time, and you know who you are and what you want. Because the worst thing is when it passes by and you feel like you haven't done what you should have done. That's what's bad about it passing by fast. Wait until you hit the mid-30s. Do you mean the mid-30s? I mean, that's it. Like, there'll be the 30s, then the 40s, then the 50s, and it will just go by quicker and quicker. But that's okay. That's just how it is. Don't worry about how fast it's going by. Worry about how you're spending your time. You know, do you want a slow life, doing all the wrong things, or a faster life with time well spent? Let's just chuck these in here. That'll do just fine. Stream getting existential again, I say. I mean, it's not, like, I don't want what I'm saying to be, like, anxiety inducing and stuff like that. It shouldn't be. I think maybe I'm, like, sitting on the other side of the equation. Maybe it does sound a little gloomy in some sense. But I don't think it's gloomy. I think it's a good thing. Like, knowing these things. Every time I join, I feel like things get existential. Hey, I'm a little bit of a conversationist for that sort of stuff. Actually, there was something I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. Something quite, like, political, but I think politically popular might be the word for it. There's never a good time to start talking about something, right? I feel like doing a little bit of classic Minecraft grinding right now. I'm just going to go shovel some shulker boxes full of... Okay, what am I doing? Full of... Jeez, words! Get them out! I'm going to shovel some shulker boxes full of sand, because you always need sand. And I ran out. I absolutely exhausted my supply recently. And then we'll have a talk about something that's sort of... Like, when I say political, it's... You'll know what I mean, but we're not here to have, like, a fiery, opinion-y... There's a lot of political stuff that's very toxic, I think, for a broad word. It's nothing like that. But all my life, I've very much felt like a sort of bystander when it comes to political action and stuff. I've never really felt like I know what cause I would want to get behind. But recently I've been feeling like there's a cause that I want to get behind, and maybe I should start using my voice here for it a little bit. The when, where, and how of that, I would need to think about carefully. But I think, you know, using my Xisuma Says channel, I might make some videos on there and actually try and help influence something that I think is going to be positive for the world. Because it feels like this is happening right now, and this is a moment where maybe this is the time to, like, what would they say? Put your gloves in the ring or something, you know? Like, actually get involved. How do you keep your focus on the large-scale projects on Hermitcraft? I have trouble focusing things from out. I'm not going to be talking about stuff like that right now. Throw your gloves in the ring. Throw the towel in the ring is the wrong expression. That's for sure. Before I leave, I need to actually start this thing off. So we've got plenty of food, and then we've got shovels to put in the box. I think we're good with that. Everything here is... Oh, that's the wrong... Okay, wrong profile. That's fine. Everything here is good to be sorted. I feel like I'm forgetting one little thing. Bed. Yeah, I realized that my bed has disappeared somewhere. There'll probably be a spare one in this section. You can keep your political stuff on Twitter, I guess. No fear of losing audience, and you can still say your voice. You know, like I said, the Xisuma Says channel will be the place to do it. And I feel like, given what I've done on that channel, I don't think what I'm doing is going to be, like, divisive or controversial by supporting this idea. It's not like that. Like, there's so much toxicity around politics in this environment that I think it creates a bad atmosphere where people think all political stuff is going to be like that, and I don't think that's the case. I think some stuff can be pretty universal and fair. There are things that, like, generally don't divide people, and this might be one of them. I'm too stupid for politics other than realizing how unpleasant people make the debate around it. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of, like, it's nasty to get involved in this stuff. It could be really draining as well. Okay, right. Camera count in the area. Now we start the process. It'd be nice to press that button before I leave, actually. So the way that I would do that is to just transfer some more items out. Get rid of all the big stacks. Put them into a chest. And then you're good. Except that one's now full. Okay, that comes out. Just gonna have to use one of these, aren't I? All right, that's the correct stuff. Good, good. People don't debate to be open to new ideas. People debate to feel better than the other and ignore everything they say, says Memsan. You know, a strong generalization like that, I think, will lead you in the wrong direction. I think what happens is that kind of debate, unfortunately, surfaces above a lot of other types of debate, right? Like it's more sensational. So it rises up. You constantly see it because it's conflict. And we're drawn to it. And algorithms boost it. There is stuff out there of, like, you know, conversations between people on different sides of the aisles. And I've been fortunate to find that stuff in the past when I was more politically engaged. And I learned a lot about, I kind of realized how there's a lot of, like, misrepresentation all the time. So it's like an argument is sort of presented to you with two sides, but, you know, it's usually the person on one side who's explaining the other person's position, or they're in an environment where, you know, they're sort of put on the spot and asked those yes or no questions to make them sound bad and stuff. Like, you can find places out there where people with different views are talking to each other, but that stuff isn't sensational, so it doesn't attract as many people. All right, so if you've been around my channel for a long time, and you've listened to these streams where we waffle about various topics and stuff, I used to have this attitude that things were getting better broadly across society. This is because I was exposed to books like Factfulness and Steven Pinker's work, and these are people that are using statistics to tell a story about how things are getting better. And the thing about statistics, right, you've probably heard the quote that there's lies and then there's statistics, implying that statistics are just lies. You can, what statistics do is allow you to tell a particular type of story. That's the donation bridge. I had no idea it came out this far. Huh. I could probably just fly back, couldn't I? Follow that thing. So statistics, what statistics actually are is a representation of what they're about. It's when you're explained or something is simplified, or a group of statistics are put into a graph in a way that isn't perhaps as honest as some people might think. This is when, like, statistics can be misleading or misrepresenting. So it's not that they by default do something terrible. It's just that people can mislead you with them, use them selectively, etc., etc. Now, as for if that was happening with these books by Steven Pinker and other authors writing similar stuff, it's debatable, but there is something to be said about how technology improves our well-being and how medical science has progressed, and a lot of comparisons over long periods of time. Generally, living standards have risen around the world for people, right? Now, that doesn't mean, oh, we're doing fine, bury your head in the sand or anything like that. But since COVID's happened, I'm starting to change my opinion on that, because I feel like we are seeing now a decline in living standards, and a lot of people can feel it through things like the inflation of prices. But if you're living here in the UK, we have gone through decades of austerity, which means that the government sells off our government assets, right? Like things like the NHS and public services, they get sold off, which means the government has less assets, and that means it needs to tax people more. And then these once government-run institutions are now being run privately, which means they can potentially be squeezed for profit. So that's happened in a lot more places than just in the UK, but I feel like our country, the UK, is probably the front runner for what's going to happen to a lot of first world countries over the coming decades. Like, we are steps ahead of where other countries are going. I think America's going in the same direction, and I think a lot of Europe is as well. Yeah, so, like, things are starting to not look that good. There's perhaps a bunch of different reasons as to why, and people have their opinions on it. Now, a very common one is to blame immigration and foreigners. And I have just a natural knee-jerk reaction that doesn't mean anything to me. This comes from believing that, like, generally people are equal based on, you know, race or whatever, but what separates us is class, more so, is how I see it interacting with the world. And right now you've got, like, Reform here in the UK who are pushing a lot of, like, anti-immigration, I could call it propaganda. Maybe some things they say have truth in them, maybe some don't. They've certainly been caught making up some stuff. You know, they're pushing an agenda of, like, fear of the foreigner, someone coming into your country and taking the resources. And I don't buy into that way of thinking. And I think it's quite easy to buy into it. And on a surface level, unless you are going to spend a lot of time learning about economics and other big complicated stuff, it's pretty easy to understand, right? Foreigner comes into your country and starts using your resources, and that's why you've got problems. So if you're picking up on what I'm saying here, it's that I'm not trying to, like, call people out or blame people for buying into this. It's, you know, it can be spoon-fed to you through institutions that, you know, control the media, newspapers, YouTube channels, wherever you get news from, TV channels. A lot of it is backed by very wealthy billionaires, and this is a narrative that they want to push, and it's easy to buy up, and repetition is very powerful as well. If you just see things about foreigners on the headlines of newspapers over and over again, it's easy to buy into this. So I'm not playing a game of, like, pointing the finger at someone who believes into it and saying you're wrong or whatever, because this is how we get pitted against one another. I don't like when that happens. I think we need to find unity and common ground. Now, I used to listen to a lot of podcasts with wealthy people, entrepreneurial types, like you know, big people in the tech space. Like before ChatGPT blew up, I used to listen to a lot of interviews with people in the AI space talking about what they were doing. You know, Silicon Valley types, all that kind of stuff. So I've had this opinion that, like, being entrepreneurial, being wealthy, and whatnot isn't something to be demonized. And there's been a bit of a, you know, eat the wealthy, hate on billionaires vibe around the internet that I've not really liked. But I've found an explanation to that I do like, that makes sense to me, and it's about economics, and it's not really about like hating on billionaires just because they're wealthy. And that, to me, this makes much more sense. And this all comes from a guy on YouTube who's starting a movement here in the UK. We also have a new party forming under Jeremy Corbyn that looks like it could have a big impact on our politics, because currently the Labour Party has come into government and just performed poorly, and people are not happy with them. They're not going to stay in power at the next election, which will be in like 4 or 5 years. And so there's an opportunity here for a new party to emerge with a new idea around it. And that idea is about taxing wealth and not work. Now, I mentioned the channel Gary's Economics because this guy is had worked on the equivalent of Wall Street, you know, doing all of the trading stocks and stuff. And he predicted that the economy was going to continuously get worse for people after 2008. And he believed that was because of inequality, which is the difference between the wealthiest and the poorest people in your society. And he's made, you know, he's a multimillionaire who's made an incredible amount of money by understanding what's going to happen in the economy, because he's predicted that things are only going to get worse. And, you know, he's proven that his understanding of what's happening seems to be pretty darn accurate and is a trend that isn't going to reverse. And this is not just a UK thing. This is pretty much a global thing. We're all seeing our living standards trending downwards, right? And I mentioned COVID earlier because this is related to COVID, because COVID kind of accelerated this, and it's a great example for explaining why we need to tax the wealth of the wealthiest people, like billionaires. And by the way, something to mention on that front, you've got someone like Elon Musk, world's wealthiest man, and you know, I don't think this guy is actually like a racist or anything, but he's been known for propping up far-right anti-immigration propaganda on Twitter. And there's a really good explanation for why he would do something like this. It's because there's currently two narratives emerging. You've got a lot of this like far-right blame what's happening on immigration. And then you've got this other narrative emerging, which is to tax the wealthiest people in society. So which side of that equation do you think they are most incentivized to get behind? Right? It kind of explains to me the behavior of someone like Elon Musk on Twitter, constantly propping up right-wing anti-immigration propaganda. It puts an explanation behind that kind of action, which isn't just like, you know, he's a terrible person, he's a racist or whatever. It can be easy to think that, but sometimes there are other incentives, and I think it's actually probably harder to sort of prove someone's actually a racist, right? Unless they're going to come out and tell you it. So yeah, so there's that. Right, and where are we in the broad scope of things that I'm trying to say right now? It explains his behavior, and yeah, the big thing is that what happened during COVID, okay, was the money printer got turned on. Everyone was given checks, they printed money. These are stimulus checks to keep the economy, the wheels of the economy spinning around, and, you know, everyone got one. So, what happens when everyone gets a check? The poorest people have to use those checks to pay their bills, to buy food, and, you know, all the other essentials, and then the check is gone. It vanished. That's it. It's over. You just paid for the essentials and you're through. Whereas wealthy people, they've already got the money to pay for that stuff. So what do they do with it? They just invest it in the stock market, or buy gold, or buy property. And if you go look at, like, the prices of gold, the stock market, and everything since post-COVID, it just keeps going up and up and up. So, like, why are living standards going down, yet apparently we've got a booming economy and all-time high stock market? It is because if you imagine wealth as like a pie, when you start to accumulate lots of it, you just keep putting the money that it makes you, because invested money pays dividends, you know, stocks pay dividends, bonds pay dividends, you know, you make money back on your money. Once you get over the hump of like maintaining your own lifestyle, your excess money starts going into assets, then a feedback loop starts where you just keep growing and growing and growing. And I think it's gotten out of control now, to the point where all of this massively accumulated wealth is dragging down the standards of the cost of living everywhere. Because this is the thing where it really clicked for me that I didn't initially understand, is that you're competing with everyone else in society for the resources. So when the wealthiest have so much wealth to just constantly buy up property and land and stocks and whatnot, this creates a upwards pressure on those prices. So the prices of things go up. They can continue to just buy it, plow the excess money back into the market, and it makes things harder for us people, you know, regular folk live in, you know, what would we call it? The working class or whatever. So, Takyu says, so basically there's too much wealth in total. I'm not sure that I'm saying there's too much wealth in total. What I'm saying is that it's gotten to a point where, historically, the amount of wealth that the wealthiest people have is at an all-time high. Johnny Harris did a really great video, if you go look on his channel, explaining the distribution of wealth over the previous decades post-war, because post-war, we rebuilt society to have more equality between the classes. And then during like the 70s and 80s, laws and regulations and things were changed, and then the distribution of wealth started to separate. right? Because once someone gets out in front and they can keep reinvesting those dividends and accumulating more and more wealth, it doesn't get slowed down. And then, who's Johnny Harris? He's a journalist on YouTube. You can go look up and check out that video that I just mentioned. You know, bookmark it, and then maybe you'll understand when you watch it later what I'm talking about. So like it'll accelerate over time. It's like a compound interest issue, and COVID kind of accelerated it in a big jump that now makes it quite obvious that, yeah, this seems to be what's happening, right? This wealth distribution thing is getting out of control. So anyway, there is a movement here in the UK about taxing wealth and not work, which means, you know, if you're working to feed yourself and your family, there should be like a certain baseline where you don't get taxed so that you can do that. And then once you start earning, you know, enough money to live a comfortable life and start investing and stuff, that's when you as a person have wealth, and that we should be taxing wealth instead of work, which means tax like we did in the 50s and 60s. If you are a top earner, you know, earning a six-figure check every year, you pay a much larger contribution to tax. This is, I'm not sure what the exact numbers that are going to be proposed are, but we're talking about, like, not like the average person pays 20 and you pay 25. We're talking about the average person pays, you know, maybe 10 after they earn 20k a year, and then the wealthiest people pay like 50, 60 plus. Because even then, when you're paying that much, you're still living really comfortably. And then that money will enrich the government to create better infrastructure for public services, and then things like, you know, the NHS and stuff, public transport will be in better shape because it'll be funded by all of that tax money, and you know, build better living standards for all of us that way, right? Otherwise, if things continue the way they're going, you're going to be competing with the wealthiest people. So like, the NHS will continue to crumble, and all of its top talent will be taken private because the wealthiest people will be able to continuously outbid the average person for, you know, the best talent in the country, right? DJ T says, and then the rich leave your country. Yeah, but like, what's the alternative? You know? This probably needs to be somewhat of a global thing that happens in order for it to work. I don't know, but like, it makes sense to me that this is the way it should go. And I think the specific details are still being worked on with this movement. Anyway, so to kind of land this whole plane, and then I'll take a few questions from you. I've been thinking that this is actually a movement that makes sense to me, and maybe this is a time to use my little Xisuma Says channel to help put a few more eyeballs on this and point people in the direction of, like, you know, who to follow, because I'm not going to be like I'm not going to be on the front lines, so to speak, of this, if that makes sense, you know, but I'm willing to put my support behind it and maybe help direct other people towards it, especially if you're here in the UK, because this is where it's starting to happen, and it's going to need to be global. And anyway, the Gary's economics guy has like called out to people and said, like, you know, we need to get more people understanding this issue and explaining it and stuff. And so I've been thinking, you know, maybe I can put my hat in the ring and help out a little bit. It's something that's crossed my mind, so I thought I'd have a chat with all of you about it and see what you thought. So for some homework here, though, if you're interested in this and you want to learn more, like I said, that Johnny Harris video about how wealth distribution has changed over the decades is very informative. And then the channel Gary's Economics on YouTube is a great resource for understanding how the difference in wealth inequality is going to ruin living standards over the next few decades for all of us. Whatever country you're in, if you are not in the, you know, top class of the 1% and above, your assets, you know, your living standards, they're going to fall. It's going to get worse. Yeah, so I'll take a few questions. We got Chapter Corey coming in with 60 months. Much appreciated the resub, my dude. Hope you're well. Rayans1191 coming in with a subscription as well. Thank you so much for supporting what we do here. You saw Johnny's video. You know what I'm on about. Yeah, cool. In Germany, the highest potential tax rate is 42% over 275k. The German economy is thriving despite the rich paying a large amount of tax. But it could be that things are set up slightly different in your country. I don't know specifically each country and how it works, but definitely in America, I think it's going to be a big issue, especially with someone like Trump in power and the cuts that he's making. It's going to happen there too. Thanks, Joe. Oh, he's logged out. Yes, Joe Hill's coming in with a raid. Hey, everyone. You just missed my little political speech thing, which would have been quite fitting, I think, of Joe's audience. Joe is a very politically in-tuned person. He's someone who strikes me as really knowing his like morals and his politics and where he stands with it, which is really cool. I think I might have a delivery. I'm not sure if it's one I need to collect or not. One second. Nope, it's one of those, I can just go pick it up later. I don't need to go down there right now. Alright, so, you caught the end of it, yeah. Do you see the solution still being an income tax paying on income earned each year, or an actual wealth tax paying on everything accumulated to date, says Firefox? I need to learn more about the movement in order to understand what they want to do, but I think you're going to need some, like, rebalancing of the scales where you tax existing wealth, but I don't think you can do that every year because you'll suck that wealth dry. Like, it has to be structured in a way to make it fair over time and to have some like markers, I think, in the future that you're aiming for. You know, because there has to be like some sort of agreement somewhere where we understand, okay, this amount of wealth inequality we can tolerate, right? Because I don't believe in having a flat and equal society. I think that there are differences between people and those differences will emerge. But like, it's about not letting it get out of control to the point where now the wealth of the wealthiest people is diminishing the living standards of everyone else. But, you know, I'll have to wait and see where they put their flag in the ground on this stuff. But I'm willing to support the issue before that because it feels so necessary to start moving in this direction. Who determines how much money a person should have to take care of needs? How will the middle class be affected? The middle class drives the economy with their spending money, so what would the tax brackets really be? I don't like the wealth gaps either, but the problem doesn't always seem to be having money, just greed. Greed will always find a way around it. Tax evasion isn't going to end, and the rich can just pay off the people behind the scenes. Well, we have to end that greed and tax evasion, right? That's the point of this. It's not about proposing something that doesn't work. It's about proposing something that does work. And as for who determines how much, I mean, I think we do. Society does through conversation and then through like informing one another and voting and whatnot. Because you can run that argument forever. Like wherever it is on the scale, wherever you put the marker and say here's where it's acceptable, someone somewhere else disagrees with it. So it's about like communication, education, and like trying to, you know, do it like through democracy, I guess, you know. UK Foundations is a recent essay about productivity, growth, and inequality. Very interesting. Beebs, if you tweet me a link to that, I'll check it out. That sounds interesting. You've been following Gary's economics for a while. He talks a lot of sense. There is an interesting interview of him on The Leading, which is part of the Rest is Politics past. I saw the Rest is Politics podcast with him on. That was a really good interview. There was a lot of good back and forth on that. I thought that was quite productive. For me personally, I'd like to see a world where everybody gets enough food, rest and support, and a place to live. I feel like I'd be a lot more at peace with whatever else goes on as long as everyone gets to be okay first, as Wandering Mouse. That's generally how I feel as well, you know. That's what I want to see. And I feel like, you know, you have to tax wealth to do that, to create that, because you need a welfare state. You need like a bottom line to help people get by on. And otherwise, you know, just living standards will just be falling without something like that, you know. And we're sort of on the front line of this here in the UK. The UK is not in good shape. We're seeing our NHS and many other things fall apart right in front of us. Also, money can and will buy power. There's no denying that. So how are any meaningful changes really supposed to work? How do you get entire nations to elect politicians who can't be brought, and where do you even find them? Personally, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Well, Callie, the thing is, like, it doesn't happen unless people try and make it happen, right? So that kind of like, well, I don't think it can be done, so I won't do anything. That's the sort of attitude that will keep things that way. Like, the answer to your question is pessimism, right? You know, like that's why it doesn't happen, because people are pessimistic about it. What's the other word? Pessimism, and it's like a word for being lazy, but like not lazy, just apathetic, like apathy. Apathy will be the thing that keeps the status quo like it is. And sometimes people get a little conspiratorial about that and suggest that, you know, like that sort of feeling of apathy is designed, like the world is influencing you to feel that way, so things can be kept the same. I don't know how deep that goes, but it wouldn't surprise me in the same way that that newspapers push certain headlines and agendas. Like, why wouldn't they push content that makes people feel apathetic at the same time? You know, do they put money behind people making content where the attitude is like, give up? You know, I don't know. But the answer to your question, I think, is like the apathy is what's stopping us. Do you think that it should be public what companies and investments that politicians have a stake in? Possibly, yeah. Possibly. It's not something I particularly thought a lot about. Here in the US, they need to address the large amount of people on government assistance who are just scamming it. I know so many people who just take advantage of the assistance programs. They like to get in as much as they can. That needs to stop. Yeah, of course, someone lying and scamming is always a bad thing. We don't want that. What I would suggest in response to that, though, is proportionality. It might be that millions of people doing that is nothing compared to the tax loopholes that billionaires are taking advantage of, right? It's a hard thing, because I feel like arguments like that will be propped up by the side that wants you to think that instead of taxing billionaires, right? And the billionaires are the ones who own the media conglomerates and fund podcasters and stuff, you know, like they influence that sphere of thought at the same time. So it becomes very muddy to know like how much of a problem it really is. And my gut is always telling me that, you know, those things that kind of divide us by sort of other things than class are more of the issue. Sorry, no, like class is the issue. Like, being divided by class is more of an issue than the sort of boogeyman lazy person who's you know, using up all the resources, right? Like, okay, if these people are like taking resources for free, what about all the resources that these billionaires have? Like, just tons and tons of property and assets and stuff. Like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? I mean, there's a few here. I'm not sure which one to pick out next. I don't know. Maybe we'll just wrap it up there, right? Like, that was a good discussion. It's something I'm thinking about doing. I might discuss it a little bit more in these streams. I might make a video on X2. I don't know how and when I'm going to make up my mind, but I just feel like it's something I want to put my name behind. Quick question before we go. Hey, yes, Petty. Nice to see you, my dude. Yeah. This idea is going to be incredibly difficult, but like, difficult isn't impossible, and difficult starts with doing, I guess. Does anyone feel like they like this idea based on how I've talked about it? I don't know. Give me a feel for what you think of this whole discussion. If you're not for it, that's fine. Tell me. I just kind of want to get a feel for like, I want to get a feel of the room. Just put it into a couple of words. Type something in chat right now. You know, I'm with you. I'm not with you. It's interesting, but I don't know. Some of you love it. Like, right now, come to chat and just type something. There's a whole bunch of you tuned in. Come and let me know. I'm just going to get a quick feel of the room. Feels so far like quite a few people are for it, which is respectfully disagree, that's perfectly fine. And one thing I need to do is, like, I'm actually interested in people that disagree with me as well, because, like we talked about earlier, I'm not into this whole, you know, being divided and politics being ugly. I think we should be able to talk to each other about ideas like this. So yeah, a few of you are not on board with it, but most of you liked it. That's cool to hear. That's cool to hear. It's not what you expected from a casual Minecraft stream. I used to do this a lot more. I used to speak a lot more about these sorts of views in the past, and then I just kind of got sick of it all and stuck my head in the sand for a long time. And while I've stuck my head in the sand, I've noticed that the country feels like it's going down the pan a bit. And along comes someone with an answer that kind of makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, the key thing I would say that I probably didn't explain too well is just, it's how having so much wealth concentrated competes with the resources that everyone needs that is the problem. Once you get your head around that bit, it kind of makes sense. It's not a pointing fingers like you're bad because you've made billions. It's just like you having billions and so much wealth concentrated becomes a problem in society. And that's kind of, you know, why I think we need a change. Anyway, so I'll go find some of the raid. If you're looking to follow up on the discussion, there's that Johnny Harris video. There is Gary's Economics on YouTube. You know, maybe next time we talk about this, y'all are a little more informed on what I'm talking about, and we can have an even more interesting back and forth. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though. I'm going to go look for some of the raids. I'll stream again on Wednesday, by the way. Wednesday evening I'm going to stream, and then I'm going to be away for a few days, so that'll be my last one for a while. I'll send you over to Tanisha today, and I'm going to bounce, so enjoy the raid. I'm going to go do some cooking. Alright, see you all later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.